Good morning and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. I was making a cup of coffee, so I don't know how late I am. Hopefully only a couple of seconds. I don't have the kitchen clock synced with the computer clock. Welcome to everyone who might be popping in. I tried to get a little bit of a head start on today's project to see what we're going to end up doing. Now, where are my little... How many of these do you get in the mail every week? If you buy anything from any of these folks that have these clothing companies, or really any of them, I guess, home decor. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? Nice to see you. Happy Sunday. You buy something once and then you are lifetime friends. There's Gail Ann. Hi, Gail. Good morning. Good morning. My husband is continually amazed at the paper that these companies use. Every time I go to throw one away, I think to myself, what can I do with these? Right, Gail? I know. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but you know what? In fact, I have one in by my comfy chair. So I have like 5 of these sitting around. So I took one apart this morning. What I did was just opened it up and pried out the staples, and then I tore them in half. It didn't tear in half that easy, I gotta tell you. And then I've got a bunch of, well, I say bunch, I exaggerate. I've got several tubes of this gouache paint that I haven't used in forever. We've been here 10 years, moved it here with me. I don't know how many years before that I purchased it. I don't think they make this anymore. Joe Sonya's. I thought I was such a big deal when I bought this. I think probably, oh my gosh, Gail has 12 in her recycling bin right now. And some of them, I picked up one that was a little square. I haven't had that one in a while. I think I picked that up in the store. Paper Mart or something like that. Paper Source, or I don't know. It's a really cool store. It's got all kinds of stuff. But these are just regular. I didn't even measure the size. What are they? They're like 6 by 7 or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter, right? So gouache is not, if I understand it right, I know they do look like sunscreen tubes. No, it's called Joe Sonya. And what I think I remember is when I first started to paint, I was attracted to the painting of a lady by the name of Priscilla Hauser, which some of you may be familiar with her and her work, beautiful toll painting work. I had high hopes. You gotta have high hopes, high hopes, high up high in the sky. Hopes. So I bought a couple of her books and tried to do her painting, and I think it was her that used the Joe Sonya. So that's why I note to self, don't confuse gouache tubes and sunscreen. Yes, you may be very colorful going to the pool. Good morning, Janice. And so I'm really not clear on what gouache is. Now this, they give you 2 different applications on the back of this tube, fine art application and then a decorative art application. I'm sure Janice and Gail know exactly what gouache is, but it's like an acrylic watercolor, right? Is that kind of like acrylic and watercolor had offspring? I don't know. But I did start doing some of these pages. I just thought I just would put some color on. It doesn't feel like when you put acrylic on, they don't feel as stable and as sturdy as they might be with acrylic. But I wanted to use some of this stuff up. And they're horrible colors. I don't even know. Well, I guess the original like toll painting that Priscilla Hauser did, she used a lot of bright colors. You know, flowers and jazz like that. Been trying fairly quickly. And I'm not going to do a whole lot, I don't think, other than just putting some colors on. Okay, Gail says there's two different types of gouache. No, not acrylic watercolor. Okay, there's acrylic gouache and watercolor gouache. They are opaque. Oh, because gouache is still a watercolor. Well, this says acrylic on it. $2.39. Let's see if I can read this. Fine art application. Josanias is the only professional artist quality acrylic gouache in the world. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Jacqueline. The acrylic properties of flexibility and water resistance greatly expand the gouache repertoire. The most popular fine art application is for works on paper in both gouache and watercolor techniques. Multiple layer techniques and alterations are possible, which cannot be carried out in traditional gouache. I love saying the word gouache. Not unlike liking to say the word ganache. Gail says acrylic gouache is permanent, whereas the watercolor is not permanent, as are not most watercolors, except for your Inktense. They've got, once they're dry, they're permanent. But I will not keep all this straight in my head. And then she goes on to say here that it's the decorative art application is an artist's gouache. It's professional quality paint, not a craft paint. It is non-fading and allows decorative artists to produce articles which are durable. And somewhere I read something about this being light fast. But there you have it. These are really old. Hi, Angela. Old, old, old. So I'm just throwing some color on. So for those who are just coming in, I took my catalog, my ladies' clothing catalog, took the staples out. My coffee's still hot. Nice. And I'm just mushing around this gouache that I've had for years. Now, if you are so inclined, you probably could use this as a sunscreen. But we're saying don't be fooled. Whoa, don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. So I've been making several, now this is way too much paint, but that's okay. It's all right. It's going to be all right. Just going to be all right. Now I put some watercolor pages together, watercolor paper pages together a while ago because I had a tablet I was trying to use up or whatever. Whoa, look at that yeller. Now I've been squirting some water on to make it kind of separate and get some, you can't really see that on the catalog paper. Now this is on pretty thick and the paint's old, so it is thicker in the tube. I dare say it is thicker in the tube. Now I've got all kinds of pages in front of my screen, so if I miss something, and please put it in caps. This isn't separating a whole lot here. But I took some watercolor paper. I was digging around this morning. Hey, Sophia, good morning. Or good afternoon. Good afternoon, good evening. And I just did a quick, pamphlet stitch. So I've been putting some of this on these just because I can. So this is just like a little segue. No, it's not a segue. It's a rabbit hole. There's Calico Kate. Hi, Kathy. Where are you now? She's on the road. On the road again. Ooh. That's quite gnarly. Now, the problem is that I am quickly running out of space to put paper to dry. And I'm really just trying to cover up or mask or, kind of just hide some of that catalog look. Now I got way too much paint on this, but for this, I really am not too concerned. I'm just quickly trying to get some color. Whoop. Got to be careful. It is thin, although I didn't have a real easy time tearing these pages in half, I got to tell you. So I thought that was kind of different. I was expecting to have to be, pretty careful, but I really had to tug to get them. Now these are ones that already have some color on. Oh no, I'm just mad about Saffron. Saffron's mad about me. Boom, boom. Gosh, I haven't thought of that song in a long time. Thanks for that, Sophia. That's a good one. Yeah, see, if you leave it down too long, you start to get a little bit of trouble. So I was thinking, what would be the quickest way to get some color down? And I thought of my gel plate. I don't know what that is. That's an extra little bit of something. Now, I had watched, this is quite some time ago now, my very good friend Shannon Green. And she was doing watercolor on magazine pages. Oh, and they just got so yummy and crunchy and warped. I love me some warped pages, huh? Love it. So then I was thinking, well, maybe the gouache wouldn't be too bad. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad. This is, see, now this is real loose and juicy, but there was a lot of that stuff that they mix the paint with on top. And I tried to shake that around as best as I could, but some of them are a little more dry. I did have the black as like a hard lump. I couldn't get any of that out. I'm just wild about saffron. Saffron's wild about me. Okay. So I really don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot to these pages until I get them in a little book. And I've been loving the size book, the smaller book that Meg Journals makes. And I've been making quite a few of those. I think I did start to say that and then distracted myself. Which really, quite frankly, is not too hard to do. And today, guess what? Today, oh, Yes, earworms. It's going to be all day in my head. Today is May 21st, and it is my granddaughter's birthday. 8. She's 8 already. Now, I was thinking if I wanted to, I really could. If I really wanted to get jiggy with it and do something really fun with these pages, I was thinking I could put some. I went through my washi tape and gleaned out a little bit. Hey, good morning, Debbie. How are you? Nice to see you. I could put some washi tape down and then put some of this, if I wanted to spend more time putting color down on these pages, like I could block out, see, that's a nice block of color. And there, you could block out some pattern with washi tape, because that would just pull on up. I'm thinking it would just pull on up. Now, I did put some color on the covers. Now, as you know, these catalogs that come in our mail, the cover is a little heavier than the paper. Not a whole lot heavy. It's not cardstock heavy, Let's do some more green. Let me see. I really like this. I don't see that this is any kind of a shimmer, but it says smoked pearl. It doesn't say it. No, it says a velvet matte finish. But this is so light of a gray. It really doesn't look gray at all. It's really quite nice. Quite nice. Let's do a little, oh, you know what? Well, let's do the bright green. It doesn't matter. In most cases, I'm just going to put these together and, oops, see, this is, I was going to say stir it. I did shake this. I know, I usually end up tossing them. Hey, Roseanne. Oh, thank you. I know, 8. She's amazing. She's an amazing kid. And we were there for Mother's Day at her house. And she was telling me that she wanted to, I don't know. I know I told some people this. I don't know if I told everybody this or told you guys this. She was telling me that she wanted to enroll and sign up to be in a race. She wanted to be in a race. And my daughter said, it's a triathlon. And first the kids, it's at her, being run at her school. And Charlotte said, well, it's too late now. I can't sign up. And my daughter said, well, you have to run, then ride a bike, and then swim. And she said, Charlotte, you just learned how to ride the two-wheeler, and you don't know how to swim yet. And she said, but I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And I think my daughter said, well, maybe next year. And then she said, tell Amma why you want to do it. And she said, because I want to earn a medal. How precious is that? I think she's going to be an Olympian. I said, that's a wonderful goal to have, and you just stick to it, work on it, and you will get a medal, I'm sure. Okay, I don't know if I'm missing anything in chat. Okay, Safi says she's racking her brains. I missed it. It just popped up. Wow, that's great, Gail. I pulled too hard. I wasn't paying attention. So that page has got a chunk out of it. If you've, oh, goodness me, I'm really yanking now. See, because it's really thinner paper. I had a hard time tearing it out of the catalog, but it does, it does tear. Hey, Chili. Good morning. I'm just, oh, look, see right there, it looks like maybe I got a little bit of a transfer. I haven't seen any kind of a transfer come up, but there it looks like maybe a little. Anyway, if you've had a chance at all to look at any of Meg journals, when she prepares her pages for in those little journals that she makes, she just tears them. She doesn't cut the pages. So I think that's what I am going to do. Now, you could paint these with acrylic. You could use acrylic, of course, on your jelly plate. You could use watercolor like Shannon Green does on her video where she's watercoloring magazine pages. Because really, I mean, these are really pretty much like magazine pages. And that's not really getting much, not getting too much bang for my buck here. I'm going to make a journal. Hopefully out of the one catalog, I'm going to make a thick, chubby, little, fat journal. And then I saw an idea for a cover, and I'm going to kind of modify that, I think. We'll see how far we get. But I think it'll be super fun and cute. All right, let's put some of this burgundy down because it's a little juicy, but it's a little more intense. I don't think I want to put, maybe I'll do the yellow light. So I'm trying to get just the one catalog and like maybe just one coat of this one, just so I have something on the pages and that they start hopefully warping and, hi, Aunt Beck. I didn't get to watch all of you this morning, Aunt Beck. By the time I got to turn you on, you were done. But I love that cookbook you got from the church where you were married. My husband and I love those kinds of cookbooks from that the churches, put out. Years ago, it was like a thing. Everybody would donate their recipes. They're such cool books. Aunt Beck and Scott are the king and queen of thrifting. Okay, let's see. We've got a few pages left here that I haven't done anything. Oh, okay, cool. She's going to be busy cutting out dress patterns. Excellent. Let me get some of this drier stuff here. Now, these pages, like I said, are really thin, but I think they'll be kind of cool. And you know from experience, once you start gluing on or painting other stuff on pages like this, or your composition type paper, composition book type paper, it really starts to sturdy up a bit. This one's already got some stuff on it. I'm going to have a couple of little spots of something else there. Now I'm just using my wash. I'm just moving it around with my brayer, adding some water to kind of get it to separate from itself and make little different kind of funky patterns. see how this turns out. I think I need more pink there. It's not quite picking up as well. Let's get these last. Oh, I got more here than I thought I did. I thought about cutting them or tearing them to the size I wanted before I started putting the paint on, and then decided against it. I'm definitely going to lose some of these pages. Who did I miss? Is Barbie here? I might have missed Barbie. Hi, Barbie. And there's Kimberly. I see the girly, so I know that's Kimberly. Morning, morning. Look, I got stuff falling. I got some good stuff here in the corners. Just not, I don't think it's quite wet enough to pick up some of it. All right, so let me gather up some more of this semi-dry stuff. I might have to use my heat tool a little bit. Let's see. These, I only have one side covered. And I'm not putting any kind of design. I'm just, you know, just covering the pages with a little something. A little something, something. I thought about getting out some of my sprays, but I didn't feel like going to all that mess. Oh, see, now this one I mixed up pretty good. So let's run this around the plate. Certainly you could keep the catalog intact and get out a big old brush and put gesso on your pages. Yeah, that might be cool, right? And then take it apart and cut them down or fold them however you might want to use them. Now you can go all different ways with this, all different shapes. You could do long and narrow. But I've really been liking short and squatty. Short and squatty. It's called Josania, and I got it years ago. It's called an artist's gouache. I don't think they make it anymore. I was telling the girls earlier that when I first decided I wanted to try to paint, I had discovered Priscilla Hauser. And I think, I don't really remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's the paint she used, at least for some of her stuff. And then I got following Maxine Thomas a couple years after that, and then went to the Deco Art paint. But like I said, I brought that paint over with me when we moved over here over to Jersey from Pennsylvania. So the paint's well over 10 years old. Ah. And I'm not moving quick enough to, let's get some more of this orange. And most of these tubes, like for a decorative art piece, you don't use that much. of anyone painting a color, you know, paint. Let's use some burgundy. As a professional photographer, can I just say how much I love the Martha Stewart shoot? I missed it. Hey, there's Brenda. I miss Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Okay. And I'm not really... Oh, that kind of made some cool marks. Oh, look at that. I'm not really worrying too much about any kind of a design. I just want to, as quickly as I can, get my pages covered with some kind of color. And it doesn't, certainly it doesn't mask the catalog page. But Brenda, I decided to do something with those clothing catalogs, sale catalogs, that probably quite a few of us get in the mail. And I keep throwing them out. I don't really feel guilty, but I do often say to myself, you know, you could probably do something with that. So I had 5 of them. I have one sitting by my comfy chair, actually, because I do want to order something. But I started to pick them up and bring them out here to my room. And then I was rummaging around today thinking, oh, see, there's a number 50. I wonder if I could do a transfer. I wonder, I guess, I don't know, maybe you would need to do acrylics to do a transfer. See, and then every once in a while, I have these little watercolor books that I put together, just a couple of pages, you know, if I feel like messing around. And if I see the plate has something interesting on it, like this, I've been popping this down first. To grab this, I'm stealing a print. And then I'm just pulling it up by its bootstraps. That didn't work. Ooh, I'm gonna cramp in my thumb. Whoa. See, I like that. I like that real well. Now, when I use computer paper to pull prints on, or say book pages, I can set them on top of each other and I don't really have them stick to themselves. This is kind of sticking to itself a little bit. So if you're going to try something like this, just beware. If you have the room, lay them out and don't stack them. Don't stack them. All right. Oh, oh, that was really wet on the edge. I still have a few that I haven't put any color on. I still have the saffron song in my head. Janet Nash. Good afternoon, Janet. What are you up to on this lovely Sunday? We're having a nice day here. It's nice and sunny, not real warm. Now, I'm not coloring the pages with any kind of intent or purpose. I'm just trying to get them covered. But you could really have fun with this, you know. I want to be able to put the pages together and maybe do some kind of a a cover while we're together here today. So, you know, I started before you guys came in, and what I did was just open up the catalog. I'll show you in a minute because we've had a few just join us. Let's do a little recap of the recap. You know, these kind of. Do you have these in the UK, Janet? And sometimes here in the US, if you go to a diner, at least they had them before COVID. I don't know about now. You could get little magazines like this that had advertisements for cars, buying cars, or buying homes, or maybe vacation destinations, you know, and they're free. They just sit there. Okay, looks like something you would get at the supermarket. Yeah, with different things on. I know. Now that you say that, Lidl has one, and I guess Aldi has one too here. And actually, the paper in those from the supermarket is really even nicer. It's a little heavier, consistent, you know, material. Like they're a little more durable. So I'm using my gel plate to just quickly get some color on. I'm not doing any kind of design. I'm just throwing down some wash that I've had for years, trying to use up a little bit of that. And just trying to quickly get some color on so that I don't spend all day. And then I was saying, you know, you really could put some washi tape on, you know, and then pull it off. You know, and they get nice and warped. All right, now I still have some, I think, that may not have. Yeah, okay, so this needs something. Let's just go through what I have here. And let's see if we can make even more of a mess. All right, just one. The ones that I still have to get a little something on. Okay, this one's all right. Some of them I flipped over, don't ask me why. And did both sides. And some of them don't have much. Oh, there's a plain side. I just want them to have a little. Well, it doesn't have much either, does it? My goodness, I have more not covered than I thought. Can you hear them? I just love how they sound too. I'm getting my stacks confused. That's good. So now we're just sorting. And end result, you could use this for collage or a glue book. And you might like just have them plain. Just take one apart and have at it, you know. Just do whatever. Here's one that's done. Well, I thought I was doing good, but oh, look at that pretty fabric. Isn't that pretty? So you could color block that with some washi tape and pull it out if you were being intentional about what you wanted to do with your pages. Look at some of this stuff. How cute this is. Look how cute that is. Yeah, I don't like my arms now, but that certainly is a cute top. Who's making dumplings?
I'm coming over.
My husband loves dumplings. He says he's coming over. Who's ever making them? Okay, some of these are still a little damp. I was listening to my ball game yesterday, and the one fellow was saying he was watching somebody on TV making. Oh, he was watching Guy Fieri. He's a chef on the Food Network, and he was making pierogi. And of course, most Americans say pierogi, but this fella is Polish. He said, "We say pierogi." Steak sandwich pierogi, which is like a dumpling that you fill with whatever, you know. I'm not Polish, but I love pierogi. I love a pierogi. Your family won't eat it? Oh yeah, we like chicken dumplings. My mom always, and her mom made what we call it? Chicken pot pie, but there's no pie. It's just a juicy homemade dumpling type noodle. And she put potatoes and parsley in hers. My husband has always made it, but he makes it with no potato, just a chicken. Lasagna, salad, and garlic bread for Sunday family dinner. Well, doesn't that sound marvelous? All right. Let's see if I can get crack-a-lackin' now. Now I feel like I'm organized. So let's get a little more. I'm going to put more of the smoked pearl down. Guy Fieri, I remember watching his shows where he goes to restaurants and fast foods all over. I was so sick with more. They rerun them like 24/7 here. In fact, that's what this guy's name's John Kruk. He was a player with Philadelphia Phillies years ago, and now he is like a guest on the show when they call the game. And he was watching diners, drive-ins, and dives. And they were at a diner. I don't know where, he didn't say, where they were making the pierogi. And Martha Stewart, she had, what was she making years ago when I would make them? I think now it's not, well, maybe it'll come to me. I don't think it was called a pierogi. What was she? It might have been a pierogi. But her trick was that she put, I think heavy cream or something in the dough. And it really made the dough tender. And yeah, I used to make them for New Year's Day. And of course I like them boiled and then fried in a pan. But I would eat them boiled too. And then, she would keep her leftover mashed potatoes from a meal and then mix cheese in or sauerkraut or something like that. All very healthy food. See, now right over here, I can't resist. I've got a cute little, what do I have that I can pick it up with? Let me get one of these. I don't know if it's going to really show on this. It's got a really cute little pattern. Because see, you won't really see. Hi, Kitty Jen. You won't really see it on the catalog. I don't know if you can see it real well here, but it looks like a flower. Looks like a little open rose. Just really wasn't feeling any, didn't have too much mojo. Was kind of bored last night. Hubs went to bed. I mean, it was time for bed. You know, I was just, I don't even know if I had I guess I did have a nap yesterday. I hate to go to sleep. I feel like it's a waste of time. And, oh gosh, what are these over here? Oh, they're the ones I have done. Okay. I just love making journals and putting journals together. I don't know. I could do it 24/7. I mean, I like to paint, but Texas barbecue. I'm not a big barbecue person. Our son likes it. He bought some kind of a grill, and he can make it get real hot, like 500 to 700 degrees. So he's been making this. He's been making pizza on the grill, which I'm not that big of a fan. And it only takes a few minutes for it to cook at that temperature, but his crust was burning. So he did a little research, and he found a fella who has a recipe for pizza crust that will take that heat. So some of you may remember I was going over a couple weeks ago, and he was making me pizza on the grill to try it. Boy, if that wasn't good. So he gave the recipe to my husband, but we don't have anything that cooks that hot, you know. We don't have a pizza oven or anything. But he said this fella has other recipes, so we think we're going to check it out. But boy, the pizza crust was, you know, sometimes you watch those chefs on the Food Network and they like a little bit of that burnt edging, you know, kind of makes and adds to the flavor. What's Barbara doing? What's she making? Oh, I missed it. I did. Let's see if I can pick up something on the corner here with this. Spaghetti, if the meat thaws. If not, then we'll wing it and do something else. Oh, I don't need a thumb cramp while I'm on live. I keep getting cramps in my thumb. Oh yeah, my mom taught me about a slurry. Oh, I need a minute, girls. I got a cramp in it's like right in there. And my sisters and I had signed up to take a felting class. And so they have a 45-minute ride to get to me, and then it was an hour from my house. It was in Jersey, I forget the town. And that's kind of neat. As it turned out, our youngest sister had gotten a virus and she couldn't go. She was so sick, so she stayed home. But my middle sister Nancy and I went. So we're working on this felted piece, and it was a lion, and we had made the metal aperture to put the felted body around and stuff. You know, we were dry felting and wet felting. I mean, it was really cool. But all of a sudden, I started to get a cramp in my left hand. That seems to be where I get it. And I mean, I couldn't move my fingers. And of course, I was moaning and groaning a little bit. Well, this gal came flying over. She was part of the guild, the lady that was, it was a felting guild that was running the class. And she came running over here. Her career was like a massage therapist. So she grabbed my hand and she started to massage right down in there. And boy, in a couple of seconds, my hand relaxed and it was all better. So that was worth the cost of the class right there, because ever since now I just know where to rub when that muscle starts to cramp. My hand stiffens up. It was so kind of her to do that. You have not done felting, not properly. I accidentally felted a favorite cardigan once. Is that yes? I wish I still had the kind of sew machine that you could felt in, but ours, it's a struggle because it's it's not new anymore, but it's newer than the old agitation kind of wash machine. I used to knit with wool, like handbags, or hats, and then throw them in the washing machine and felt them. It was really kind of fun. But Beth does that wet felting, and she does like a picture. Have you seen that? Beth Schuler? Probably most of you have. I know Janet has. So what do you think about this idea? When I was thinking about using my jelly plate for this, I was trying to decide what to do today. And I thought, oh, I don't know if I feel like doing ACTs. I could do that and build them on some playing cards. But that's a pain to treat all the playing cards and get some color on them. And there are ways to do that. I was wondering how it would be if I put them on the jelly plate. Like put some kind of paint down in a design, put the cards down, and then just roll your roller in some paint. And roll over the backs of your cards. I might have to try that. We crafters usually overuse our hands, and yes, your back is hurting from last night's adventures in altering index cards. Oh, I have index cards to do, and I just don't know what I want to do with them, and I keep dragging my feet. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. And like I said, I had one doctor say to me, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm knitting. Well, stop. Well, no. And I'm trying to get a crocheted project done. So, of course, I'm not left-handed. I don't know why my left. I mean, my right hand will cramp too, but it's mostly, in most cases, it's my left. I am, Jen. Hopefully soon. But get the rest of these pages. I want to get a little bit of color on every side of these pages. And then I'm going to tear my pages so they look real rusty, rustic. Yeah, they do. So last night, after I was bored and I did some crocheting and I did some slow stitching around a little journal cover. So I mean, I got some stuff done. I did color. I was coloring. Started another Joanna Basford page. I haven't been coloring much lately, so I just colored a little. And I just wasn't ready to close my eyes. I've been turning the TV off when hubby goes to bed. And I have a little game, a little solitaire game that I've been playing. So I played some of that. And then I thought, what can I do for just a little while? Oh, I know. I'll watch some reels. Next thing I know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm still watching reels. I had to make myself turn off my phone. I know crusty bits are great. I'm really not picking up any on this. I wonder if it's because it's gouache. Does anybody know? I might need acrylic paint to pick up the crusty stuff. Oh, no. Like I said, there's no design or anything, right? I'm just picking up paint. So you can see it's just really, making a mess, actually. See, I don't think I have any fun colors in this stuff. And then well, I think I kind of want the book all to be the same. So I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing. Let's add a little more of this. This is called Burgundy. And the little sticker on the front. Hi, Dawn. How you feeling, kid? It looks real like kind of reddish, but out on the plate, it's really not. It's definitely a rusty rust. You think, Gail? Gail thinks it's more about the type of paper. Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Gail. I'm not liking the green so much, so although I love green, but I'm just not liking it that much. Time to start getting out. Okay, she'll be away from the keyboard and not chatting. Sophia's gonna make some dumplings. This looks like a bloody mess, doesn't it? So today is my granddaughter's birthday. And tomorrow, the 22nd, is my sister Jackie's birthday. And then the 25th is my brother-in-law Bob and my son Brian's birthday. May is a busy month for us. Busy, busy, busy. And then we have a little bit of a break. I've got my youngest bonus granddaughter's birthday in June, the beginning of June. I think it's the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. 9th, I think it's the 9th. I think her sister is November 10th, but I think, yeah, look, I got a big old, not a cat hair, old lady hair. Wah, wah, wah. I can't get it. See, that drives me crazy. I got it. Which made me just think, oh, I should have put a piece of twine. I should have would have put a piece of twine. Okay, Dawn says, I'm trying to hang on until offices open tomorrow. My daughter thinks the ER was a joke. Could be right. I'm telling you, Dawn, your symptoms sound very much like what my grandchildren had. They had the 103 fever, and they had the rash, and then I mean, our daughter took our grandson started first with it. Took him to the pediatrician, and they said, is it hand and mouth or hand and foot disease? And then his rash started to blister. And then, I hate to tell you, then he had boils. And his were, if he left them alone, he was fine. But if he happened to scratch one, then they were painful. And then, of course, I think everybody but my daughter got it. I don't think my daughter got it. My granddaughter and then my son-in-law. And it's worse, the pediatrician said, if you and your husband get it, it'll be worse for you than it will be for the kids. And it just has to run the course, you know, and they don't treat it. They didn't give them anything. It just has to. Oh, I forgot to do the other side of my covers. Okay, let's see here. But, you know, but I would think, you know, with a kid with those symptoms, you go to a pediatrician, you know, they're used to seeing that kind of stuff. You're not used to seeing that kind of stuff on an adult. So, yeah, I'm not sure the ER would pick up on it. And, gosh, I don't even know if, you know, test results would show anything. I don't have much faith in the so we had when we were younger. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, they didn't have measles back then. Must have done something, I guess. I don't know. I had measles and mumps. Yeah, they checked for scarlet fever too. It's just a minute. Okay, I think I should have another. I tore the back and front cover in half, and that's just, I should have 4 of those. So where did I put the others? Where did I put it? I don't see it. My pages are sticking. Okay, one hit the floor. All right, let's pick some more of this up with in this little book instead of messing. I wonder if I got. See if I can get a little bit of this up. Yeah, when you, as an adult, you get some of those kid diseases. They say it's difficult for you. You got to be careful. I'm glad you went. But I think it makes sense to follow up with your physician. Well, I guess I'm going to have to live without that other cover. All right, so here are all my pages. Now, I'm sure some of these are going to need a little bit of the heat tool, and we might have a little bit of stickage. But I need to find something that I can pull all this nonsense up off of the plate. Yeah, that's what they say, right, Janice? Yeah, shingles are supposed to be. But you think they would be able to identify that fairly quickly for her, right? Hopefully. Oh my gosh, hopefully it's not that. Oh, let's be praying it's not that. Okay. I need something to pick up. Oh, this is a bit of cardstock. All right, let's put these two. Did I miss Barbara? Did Barbara leave? If she left, I feel bad if I didn't say goodbye. I didn't see. I got stuff stacked up in front of my screen. I'm just gonna wet this down a little bit. They said no to shingles. That's good. All right. This is just, sorry about that. This is just a piece of card. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I'll show you in a minute. What did I do with my spritzer? All right, so what's everybody else going to do today? I think there's a ball game on, so I'm going to be watching the ball game. I've got to call my neighbor Betty, see how her evening was. Betty treated us for pizza last night, so we had pizza for dinner, which was a nice treat. I'll just get most of this up and then deal with it later. It's kind of cool. There's not a lot of different color. Got some bits up there in that corner. So I'll let this dry and then I'll put some acrylic on it later. And all right, so step one. And if you're just joining us, what I did was take apart one of these sales catalogs that I get, tore the pages in half. They're just stapled together, so I just tore the pages in half. And now oh, Roseanne, that's nice. She's got grands coming, daughter and son-in-law, son-in-law, that's cute, are coming. Got to get her crafty stuff off the table so she can eat. You're making lasagna, right? Brenda is prepping her meals for the week. Gosh, good for you. Oh my gosh, that always sounded like such a great idea, but I never did it. Oh, look, I found a couple more sheets of magazine that I didn't. Oh well, that's just going to have to be the way it is. All right, so now I am just going to stack. I had a hard time tearing several sheets of this when it was just out of the book. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this way now. Oh yes, lovely. So now I'm just going to tear them because I'm going to just fold I'm gonna just fold and make my signatures that size. This is kind of what Meg Journals does. If you get a chance to check her out. I forget what she says, A5 or A6. I don't know those A things. I don't know the sizes. But I think the little journals she makes, and she only makes the one size. And I think they're probably about a 4x5 or something like that. Bye. Have a great day. Enjoy your family, Roseanne. Thanks for popping in. You're busy. And you popped in to say hi and spend a little time with us. That's wonderful. Thanks so much. All right. This one here looks like pond scum. If I do say so myself. Now you really could come back in on top of these and put some. Oh, thanks, Roseanne. That's very sweet. You could put some white paint over top or some, whoops, gesso. That one started to tear a little before my fold mark. Adds interest. It all adds interest. I'm going to try not to pay attention to even which way the pages are going, whether they're right side up or wrong side up. Now, if I go ahead and put some gesso on these pages, which you can do when you go to work on a page, you know, if you're going to glue something down, and you can do that. But, you know, we may just do a page or so just to see. Now, some of these are still damp. And then I'm just going to do a quick pamphlet stitch. And then I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about for the cover. Because, see, these things come up and on YouTube, and then you watch the little clip, and I don't pay attention to who it is. You know, unless it's a name that I recognize, I don't really pay attention. I should really do that, but I don't, and I didn't, and I'm sorry. But some of them, they're like in a different language. Now, this girl was sewing. She was doing like a boho cover, and she was kind of sewing. And I have some material, some fabric like that, but I'm not going to use that. And I'm not going to sew because I can't get I shouldn't say can't. I am unwilling to heft my big heavy sew machine up here, up under my camera. So I thought, well, I could do something similar, but not so. Now, some of these are really rough, these pages, but that's okay for me. If you want a neater look, throw these in your paper trimmer and, you know, slice them up that way so you have a nice, neat edge. Or maybe you want them to be a little more torn. You can certainly do that as well. Got one more sheet here. And you could throw a couple of these catalogs together. I just may do that. We'll see how it looks. Now, what I'm wondering is, because I did take the cover and put some paint on it. So now here's all my stack of paper. This is going to make a chunky, chunky book. You don't have to make it this fat. I want to make it really fat because I just really like it. Aunt Beck is, she climbed down on the floor to trace out the pattern. And she's cutting the pieces out now, and she'll be pinning and cutting fabric next. Cool, Aunt Beck. So I'm going to make several signatures. Maybe I'm going to count my pages and see. I know that's annoying, right, for me to count my pages. I don't know if this book had page numbers. Let's see. Which one did I do? I did the Roman. Maybe 83. It does have page numbers. This is 98. I'm terrible at math. So Jenna should think two signatures? Maybe, what do you, I think maybe 3. All right, so say I have, that would be 3. Oh, 2 journals. Yeah, I got 3 more books. All right, I don't do math. So 3 into 9, so it's like 33. That's a lot of pages. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's do 31 because I don't think I had 99. Wipe my finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Do. Now, what I'm thinking is the cover is not going to fit around these. They look all fairly even. See, so now this is one of my covers. And what Meg does is she cuts it, and then she puts fabric in between. But what I'm thinking is using a paper bag around the outside, like a lunch bag, which I just happen to have right here. I think the size might work. Let's just see. Oh, piddly poo. Well, you know what? I think it still can work. Ooh. Ooh. That last signature might have been a little short. And I'm pretty anal. So this one feels, they all feel pretty good. They all feel pretty good. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to use this paper bag to make my cover. So I am going to snip this bottom square off. Now this is just a regular lunch bag. You know, size. Paper bag, lunch bag size. Now this, I don't know, do you call them reels on YouTube? Because this wasn't Instagram, it was YouTube. And you know how those chicks come on and they're either crocheting something or they're sewing something, or you can make this. Or how do you like my channel? Please like my channel. Please share my, you know, they're not talking. It's just the words come up. Okay, Aunt Beck. Shorts. Thank you, Gail. I'm thinking, why is Gail saying shorts? Oh, Gail, you're a genius. Okay. Shorts. Yeah, I didn't, that makes sense now that you say it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So she had a piece of, gosh, it looked like a piece of cardstock or something. I wasn't paying that, at that point, I wasn't paying that close attention. Quite frankly. Quite frankly, sweetheart. Now let's just see if I can still get this stuff. And she had all kinds of little strips of fabric that looked very boho-ish. And I do have fabric like that, but I'm not going to use that for this. And she would take, she did take, let me see. Her piece of cardstock, and she took her pieces of fabric and she put them down, and then she just stitched it on. And then she took another piece and went this way, stitched it on. And then if it didn't line up and it was a little bit over, she just cut it off, put in another piece of fabric. She was zigzagging, I think, that real tight zigzag where you can, you know, make pieces of fabric like kind of be one. And she covered her whole piece, and that's what she used for her journal cover. Then she had, I mean, she had the sewing machine that was like, whoa, it was so cool. Then she put it under, I don't know what she did to the sewing machine, but then she just kept like free form wiggling her thing all around, right? So what was under here, it all looked quilted. So then when she folded it, it was a magnificent little cover. So, like I said, I'm not going to stitch because I don't want to haul up my machine. But I thought, well, I have a tub and tubs and tubs of scraps, right? Why don't I just glue them down? And then if I want to, I can glue another plain piece and I could stitch, you know, later. Now, I didn't cut this so well. See, I got a little divot there, but I'm going to have fabric there. Let's see if this one, I guess I could, you know what, let's just, well, see, then I've got the divot in this. Oh, they do, Janice? Oh, I'll have to look. Yeah, this isn't going to be any better. I think this will be okay, I think. So I'm going to grab one of my tubs, and who knows what I'm going to find. This is going to be the ultimate scrap cover. Let's see. Just going to pull in some. Oops. Oh, I'm so sorry. How's that for a big old mess? Oh, look at this. Look at that. Where did I get that? Holy moly. Oh, that's like, this is like, I don't know, like the salvaged edge or something. I think what I want to use is my gel, my gel medium stuff, maybe, to glue it down. My soft gel matte acrylic medium. And I'm going to use, I think, a little silicone spreader. Now this may not work. I don't know. It may not work, but we'll find out. Oh, really? Sophia said it sounds similar to what Barb Owen did the other night. She was using fancy embroidered ribbons and trims in different widths, just sewing them onto the backing, sort of a log cabin style. Pretty pretty. Huh. Great minds. All right, let's see. So I have no rhyme or reason, no plan. This gal just started in the middle. I do like greens. This feels pretty. Oh, it's double. I have no idea where I got these strips. Oh, that's the way. Oh, this is already quilted. So I'm going to cut this. Now, I decided to get a pair of scissors that I can use on fabric or for paper. These are not my fabric scissors that you saw me just cut paper with. So have no fear. All right, here we go. Let's just see if it works. Now, Shannon, our junkie, said this stuff will stick anything down. And so far, she's been right. All right, then she would add another little piece of fabric. But she, like I said, she was stitching it on. She didn't really overlap. She just kind of butted it up next to each other. So I'm just going to be taking little pieces. Now, if you're going to do this, you certainly can do any colors that you want. Whatever looks good to you. I'm a little anal. So, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. Actually, I probably would like to rip some of this and not have it all be the same size. You know, this gal was using all different sizes. And I guess, I mean, you could overlap, right? You could do whatever you please. I kind of like it there. Now, I would think you could use a lot of different glues. Certainly, you could use your Fabri-Tac, but that's kind of like a big old boogie. So you'd have to squeeze it out, you know, and really spread it. And I think I definitely want to stitch some over top of this. Now, I'm also going to be looking for a piece to glue on this side. So it should make a pretty nice solid kind of cover. Well, maybe not, solid's not really the word. Sturdy, maybe. Well, maybe not sturdy. Not flimsy, not sturdy, just, you know, just right. A Goldilocks. Oh, should make a nice Goldilocks cover. Bye, Janice. Thanks for coming. If you tack it down with glue and sew it later. Oh, that's an idea. That's a good old idea, too. Okay, let's bring in something different. Oh, that's stitched. I don't know if I want stitched. See, now this is why we keep all these bits. See, look at these little birds. I might have to have me a little bird on there. Yes. I have plenty of needles. Substantial. Thank you, Brenda. It'll be a nice substantial cover. Maybe I don't like the bird. Let's just this little flower. I do like things that are torn and have kind of a fuzzy frayed edge. I do. That's my impersonation of the Cowardly Lion. I do believe in ghosts. I do. And I can hang over. I can hang it over. I could always trim it. Dry first, just a smidge of glue. Oh, look at this nice little. I kind of like that. But yeah. All right, so let's try what the girls are saying. Let's put a little here, a little here, and a little here. It's giving me trouble. Trouble. Maybe I would do better with a glue stick. What do you think? Maybe a glue stick might be more better. Look at this beautiful color. Oh, I love that. I love this. Just get a little bit Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That still feels sticky there. Maybe I can get it. Just stick enough. You could use coffee dyed muslin. You know, some of you may not have a gigantic stash of. Oh, look at this cantha. Lori, that's what I use to temporarily hold fabric down, a glue stick. Yeah, I think, hey, Devin, hi. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch over instead of using this expensive stuff. I've got a glue stick right here. That's what Janet uses too. Okay. I didn't drink much of my coffee, did I? Oh my goodness. Whew. I had a hard time. I had a hard time getting that open. Hard time getting that open. Oh, I love this gray stuff. What do they call this stitch? Like with this girl. Bye, Sophia. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, take 20 minutes to call them all in. Get them in for some grub. It's a real tight, like it looked like a zigzag, like the machine was doing a zigzag, but it was almost solid. You know, like you sometimes like you see on the edges of fabric, say like your jeans or something inside, and it's like around the edge of the fabric. A buttonhole stitch? Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, Gail, you might be right. Oh, Gail, you know so much stuff. I mean, all of us, I guess, know a lot of stuff, but some of us aren't able to, like, you know, bring it to the front of our heads so we can repeat it. See, now this is just a little piece. It's got some kind of backing on it. I'm going to take that off. That's like stitched on. See, it's got all these threads hanging. I love that. Maybe no, that's too much the same. I'm really kind of excited about this, guys. Whoops. Started to glue down the wrong edge. It's probably a good idea to keep your, well, maybe after I use the needle, I could, you know, wash off the glue. Because then it's hard to thread if it goes through the glue and the glue gets in the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle. Yeah, it's hard to tell without. Yeah, but I think it looked like, well, to me, it looked like a regular sewing machine, but it could have been like it wasn't real small. It looked like a regular sewing machine. In my mind, anyway, the sergers are shaped a little different and smaller. It looked like if you're doing hand stitching, it almost looked like a satin stitch, like it was solid. And she did it like you know, where the two fabrics set next to each other, and she went, you know, it was real tight and solid. I'm going to leave this a little longer. So then it almost looked like, you know, like the metal in between, like on stained glass. And then a very, yeah, right. The buttonhole's like a really close, yeah. And then when she, gosh, when she slid that around and did like a freestyle thing, it was just like, woo, 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 it was just like zipping around. Look, there's the napkin. Ah, she was just whipping around real easy like. Hmm, I don't know, I might think about that on the top. Whip it good. Whip it good. How's our little Luce, Dev? How's our little Lucy girl? So again, this takes a little bit of time. Ooh, look at that. Look at that nice piece. Lucy is still limping. Aw. Aw. Yeah, our Bella has been limping for a long time. Be a rare occasion where she'll put any weight on her paw, but she doesn't cry or anything, except if when we pick her up and we happen to like hit her shoulder, you know, she kind of. This is going to be so random. How's Elvin? How's Elvin doing? Forgot about asking about old Elv. We had these kids that lived with us for quite a few years. Like my bonus son and a couple of international kids. Of course, I don't hear from them. But there were American kids too. And the one gal that worked for me and lived with us, allergies. Aw, but he's doing pretty good. Oh, you hate to see them itch, don't you? Aw. Or Sadie was like that. She had a lot of allergies. Um, and I was talking to Betsy. Betsy's one of the gals that lived with us, and she worked for me as a student worker when she was in college. And she's a foster mom to two young boys, and they've been praying for a while that they would have their own child too. And God has granted them that. And she's due July 23rd. We're very excited about that. So we were chatting, and I was telling her, she was saying they don't really like, her and the boys don't really like Winnie the Pooh, but the one shower invitation that was sent, it's got Winnie the Pooh on it. She just wanted me to know that they weren't doing the baby's room in Winnie the Pooh, you know. She's like, I sound awful saying that. I said, no, it's fine. And have a funny story about Winnie the Pooh. When Gary, my bonus son, came to live with us, well, when he packed his suitcase to come to the US, he's from UK. And when he packed his suitcase, one of his friends gave him a little Winnie the Pooh stuffed animal. It was only about 3 or 4 inches. It was just a little Pooh. And I guess his friend had said, this is just to keep you company, safe travels or whatever. So he threw it in his suitcase. So when he came to live with us, he had his suitcase up in his room. And here our dog Sadie got Our dog Sadie got in there, stole his Winnie the Pooh. Well, then it was all slobbered up, from the dog. From the well, he never really has let me forget that. So I was telling Betsy, because she lived with us when Gary lived with us. I was telling Betsy about that little shenanigans. So she asked how Sadie was doing. Well, we lost Sadie quite several years ago now. I know it is. She's got two beautiful little boys that are siblings, which is even more special. And those two boys have they're 2 of 14, and their parents are currently in prison. So they're hoping and praying that they have the opportunity to adopt these little fellas. So they just love them to pieces. So they have a hearing, I think she said, if it doesn't get canceled, scheduled for August. So we're hoping to pray those little boys into their family. Oh, isn't that cute piece? So they're excited about getting a little sister. And then when I was watching the reels on Instagram, oh my gosh, this little girl, she was probably only 3. And she's sitting on the couch. She's got a pillow on her lap, and then her infant brother laying on the pillow, and she's got her arms around him, and she's touching his face, and she's telling him how beautiful he is, and that she loves him very much. And he starts to whimper, and she tells him not to cry, that she will take care of him. Hey, Ange, how you feeling, kid? It's so precious, this little video. This little that one's a reel, the little reel on oh my gosh, it's just priceless. Okay. Oh, that's cool. When do you go back for a follow-up, Ange? Oh, I don't want to make you type too much. If you can answer, that would be good. All right, so I'm just kind of tacking this now like the girls recommended. Now I got to be thinking about another piece of fabric, because I don't want to, I think I want to do plain on the inside. Tomorrow. Oh, okay, honey, that's great. Cool. Yeah, that'll feel a lot better getting the stitches out, I would think. So far not bad, right? Once I stitch this, it's gonna look, I think, kind of cool. All right, let's see what else we got underneath here. We can dig out some more. Oh, look. Oh, how nice. That's very nice. I've got some salvaged edge. I love this stuff. Gotta overlap that a little bit. Now I'm gonna have to be a little clever, aren't I, to stitch this all down. I think the cantha is a little too puffy. But see, I can pull that apart, and that's a nice weight there. this might work down in this corner. Let's have a little rip of this, a little rip of this, and a little rip of that. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, now I have to be thinking about my my throat's getting dry. I didn't grab a cold beverage. Ooh, look at that nice piece. That would be nice to have for the other side. I have a piece of that, and I have a piece of... Oh, excuse me. That's kind of wintry. Here's some batik, bastique. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Coughing in your face. Somebody's a weed whacking. You might not be able to hear it. Last time, it's probably my husband. Last time he was weed whacking, and I listened back to my video. Couldn't really tell. Boy, once you get that little tickle in your throat, you know, you just can't seem to get it cleared. That's a little too stiff, that stuff. It's stuff we dark navy. This is a quilted, this is beautiful fabric my sister got. I made a bag out of this, but it needs a lining. Haven't done that. I just need a couple more little bits. Just looking for something to really hit my eye. It might be a little too light. Oh, I love that though. I might just put that on. This, oh no, I don't want to cover that. I do like that. This is, looks like a vintage kind of real worn piece. Let's put it up there. So I do want to try what that I saw the lady do on the short. Get out some of my, I guess it was a Goodwill. I was at a Goodwill. And they had a couple of saris. It was the whole sari that, you know, someone would wrap around themselves. And the fabric was beautiful. And of course, the sequins and the designs around the bottom and the edges was gorgeous. So I think they had 2 or 3 of them. I bought all of them. They were only $10. And when I looked to purchase some a while ago, people wanted a lot more for it than that. So I've just recently cut them all up in pieces. So I think a cover with those fabrics on it and some of that edging would really be quite nice. There's another piece of batik. Let's get that on there. So now this will be ready for me to stitch. And then I can always add, you know, buttons or ribbons. You know, if I do something on top, like I might put a little piece of this in. when I go to actually stitch. And I had another little piece of like a crocheted, well, you don't need to see it. You know what I mean? Like a crocheted piece of a crocheted piece of lemon. Look at this. How cute would this look on there? See, it's got a little bit of a stain, but see, I could put that on. And then that's going to wrap around my signatures. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then I can trim off my edges. And then I'm going to put, you know, fabric on the inside as well. Fabric down. See, this is going to be cute, right? All right, so let me just quickly look for, I don't want to trip over anything yet. Let me see if I can quickly grab a piece of fabric. This could be an adventure in itself. See, I didn't think this far ahead. It's kind of cool, but I don't think this is big enough. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, what will I ever use this for? Well, that's really kind of pretty to put in the inside cover of a junk journal. Look at that. I don't know if I can do it. I don't even know where I got this. A sample or came in something. Hey, Ree. Hi. Hand-drawn florals, Batiste, 100% polyester. But see, this one's like see-through. It's not like see-through. It is see-through. Lauren. Okay, let's see if I can get my, oh, I know, I can get my pincher. I can get my little pinchers and grab some fabric. I don't want that. That's like really good stuff. This might be Christmas. Yeah, Christmas, of course. I don't want a horse is a horse, a horse, a horse. I don't want Christmas. I think I need a new pair of pinchers. We're not really pinching. Oh, that might work. A lot of times if I go to Goodwill, I look in the curtain section. Because it's usually just a couple of dollars, and then you get so much fabric. Thank you, Angie. Yeah, I agree with you, honey. I agree. Okay, look at this. This is like the end of the curtain or whatever it was. Just give it a tear. How you doing, Ree? Okay. Now I'll probably iron that crease out just because, you know, I have issues. Fortunately, I have an alternative to Goodwill. Their pricing is just silly. Yeah, I don't get some of the pricing. It's just like you. I'm pretty good, thank you. What I don't really get is Joann Fabric clearance. I love to look at clearance and dig through clearance, and I don't know. I could spend hours just digging through clearance. But they're clearance. Is it really clearance? See, I've got that little extra piece of fabric there. So that's what's going to happen here. I'm going to stitch this. I'll tack this down like I did the other fabric, and then actually I think I'll stitch this down first, right? And then I'll put this on, and I'll do all that crazy loopity loop stuff and see how that fits. So that's going to be my cover. So that's solved. Janet said, Lori, what you have to the young people is going forward to the next generation, your legacy. Yeah. Yeah. It was funny. I can remember sitting in church all those years ago, and my husband noticed in the church bulletin that they were looking for host families for international students. And I was trying to be open. I didn't really think I would enjoy it, and I thought it might be, but at the time, there was a financial portion to it that was would have, was a big help to our family. So I agreed, and we started with our first international student, who was a high schooler. And they came over. They weren't exchange students because nobody went to their house. And these kids, oh, here it is. See, wouldn't a piece of that look good on there? Their parents were all pretty wealthy folks, and it ended up being quite a delight. It was very interesting. It was fun. The kids, for the most part, were not a problem. I had a couple issues here and there. And like I said, I had one kid that we had to have her placed somewhere else because I was working. I was still working at the time, and I couldn't be. This particular gal needed a full-time. She needed a full-time mom, and I couldn't be that for her. So she went to another family where the mom was home, and I think she did very well there. And I wish those kids had stayed in touch. I think probably some of them aren't able to. Some of them, one in particular that I'm thinking of, are from China. We had quite a few from Korea. And I talked to the one little girl once in a while. She's not a little girl anymore. I should try to get in touch with her. But it was fun. It was a blessing. And then I met my bonus son, and I got attached to him. And then my little Betsy, who's having the baby. So it's really been great. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a pamphlet stitch, and then these will get stitched onto my cover. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that though. Like Make Journals, she stitches it right through her cover, and you've got those stitch, stitch marks down the spine, which that's okay, but I'm not that good at it. I said that before. I'm not that good at it. I don't know if I have one sitting here. I don't think I have one sitting here to show you. So I think I'm just going to grab some. I don't know, how am I doing on time? Okay, let's see. I have a little template here that I could use. I just have to mark. See, now I got her. She is up. So I said I wasn't going to pay attention to it, but see, I am. All right, so let me grab a couple. Now they were right here. Let's see if I can find them again. I usually use waxed linen to put them together. Has anybody ever used the embroidery floss to do your to stitch your signatures together? This didn't quite get folded in half. I didn't really fold these that great. I think I'm going to do that because I want these to be folded well. Okay, let's just take a minute. Oh, if we're going to have a storm. It sounds a little rumbly out. Yeah, my husband belly aches on occasion that I've taken over the Four Seasons room. But for the most part, my jazz is not in the house part. And we weren't really using this room anyway. And it's so wonderful to have a place where I can come work and not have to clean everything up. Before we moved here, I always had a table set up somewhere or worked on the kitchen table and, all that jazz. And it's not always fun. So I'm just trying to crease these better than I did. I just really kind of stacked them and bent them in half. So has anybody used embroidery floss to stitch together a signature? I mean, it's 6 strands, so I guess it's... Whoops, that's not right. That is not right. Hey, there's Kel just popping in to show her support and say hi. I appreciate that. Thanks, Kellyanne. I have the wax thread. Oh, you could wax the embroidery thread. Yeah, I guess you could, right? I don't have that wax. I don't see why you couldn't use it. Yeah, I was thinking too. I mean, it's just sitting here. I've got the waxed linen, but I've got so much of this floss, and I've got a couple of... Oh, Kel has used the floss. I might give that a go. This is somewhat eclectic anyway, right? I think Barbara left and I missed her to say goodbye to her. It's so much of this paper stacked in front of my line of vision. Are you mowing?
I did the front. I was waiting until you were done.
Well, you could shut the door. I'll be done in a little bit, but you could just shut that door. I'll be fine. I don't think last time I could hear it on the video, so thanks, hon. Okay. I keep thinking about, I'm just what about saffron? Saffron's what about me? I probably don't even have the words right. Okay, snug those in. Let's see, I can use this little grid. So I want to make sure okay, there's the star, so that's at the top. And then I'm just going to do 3 pamphlet. And this is junk journaling at its finest, right? But what I want to do is just mark. The last time I did this, I didn't mark what hole I was using, and then I still got off kilter. I didn't like being off kilter. So I line that up. There's the star, so I'm going to punch this hole, and I'm going to punch this hole, and I'm going to punch this hole. And it doesn't have to be, like even Steven. I'm just going to use my, I took the grid off. Hello, Lori, hello. I'll do the center hole first. Pop that through. And then this one. Try not to give myself a puncture wound. Seems like he's always cutting the grass. Okay, now I think we're all girls here, but let's just say, does this make sense to any of you that are here? I'll tell you in a minute. The gardener just walked through again. All right, I need a needle. And let's get some thread here. I don't know if that I want pink. I think I might like to have this pinkish burgundy. Primrose and hibiscus. Are they other pets? Cute names if they are. Okay, I want the full 6 strands. This is like 3 strands that I have wound around here. Okay, does this make sense to anybody? The gardener just walked out. I don't want him to hear me saying this. Like, you have to cut the grass all the time, right? It's like twice a week he's got to cut the grass. But then he feeds it. Like, why would you feed it to make it grow more? So then you got to cut it more. It doesn't make sense to me. Just saying. I was saying I was going to do, hi Sharon, I was going to do what Make Journals does to make it green. Well, but it is green. I don't know. Maybe to make it thick. Make it look good, Gail says. Right, exactly, Brenda. Devin, that's so funny. My son-in-law, his grass is starting to look like, the 18th hole on a golf course. I mean, it really looks nice. It's thick and lush. I don't know. I think a lot of men are just mesmerized by grass. My husband, he's allergic to it, but he loves grass. He doesn't spend a lot of money. One year he spent money to have professionals come feed it. All right, now Meg puts her signatures right on the cover. They have to have something to do. Yeah, I guess. But see, if I do that, then I can't really stitch this. So if I stitch it now, I think I'm just going to poke my holes, girls, because, see, I want to stitch this, but I don't want to stitch this while you guys are sitting here. It's going to take a little bit for me to do it. Oh, we've watched those, Devin. They are pretty cool sometimes, and it really helps people out. Okay, bye, Cal. Woof. So I guess this is a good place for me to stop. And I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I've just kind of been on the fence about Monday nights. I don't know. I'll see how my day goes. I might pop on tomorrow evening. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and poke my holes for these. I'll probably fold these up again, to get a nicer crease. And so I think it's going to make a pretty cute journal. So ideally, this is, pretty much what it's going to look like. Because she stitches it right through her. And then if I don't like how my stitches look, I'll put a piece of lace or another piece of fabric over top of that. And that, that'll carry the theme and it'll still look pretty cute. So I'll probably finish this up this afternoon because I'm anxious to try this. I'm going to zigzag these pieces in just so it looks, nice. And then I'll put on my inside piece, which is going to be this. And then I'm, going to zip around and do all kinds of crazy stitching to kind of make it look like, thank you, ladies. I think it'll be cute too. And then I'll be able to then stitch my signatures on. So I might pop a picture on Fibstiggity or Instagram, so you guys can see what's what when I finish it up. But aren't they doesn't that just look yummy? This was a good choice for a back piece. That just fits in there great. And the paper bag's the perfect size. So I've got 3 more of these catalogs. So I may sit tonight and tear some of those apart. And I might try spraying. What do you think about this? I might try. Oh, thanks for hanging in with us. I know it's late for you, Janet. It was really nice to see you. Thanks for coming. What do you think about spraying the pages with, say, some of that Lindy spray or the Tim Holtz Ranger Distress spray? And that would put some color on my pages, and then would also make them crinkly, but maybe not as labor intensive as putting it on the jelly plate. Like I could work on top of the jelly plate so it doesn't make a mess all over, you know what I mean? And then mop up some. As long as I don't get it too wet. Good point, Gail. Good point. Yeah. Might have to try it. I might have to try it. All right, so I'm going to scoot. I'm going to get some lunch, going to call my neighbor, and then I'm going to get stitching. And I got to check the ball game. The ball game may be on already. All right, thanks for joining me. This was fun. And gosh, for somebody who didn't know what they were going to do today, right, that's what I was thinking, Gail, not as labor intensive. So let me know if you get one of these catalogs in your mail and you make a journal. It was nice to see you too, Devin. And see what you come up with. You know, I mean, really, you don't have to cut it the way I did. You can make one of these long, skinny ones. Huh? All right. You could really just cut off the bottom and have a nice little square one for something different. And these are easy to take apart because you just have to pry up those little staples. You know? You know what I'm saying? Actually, I bought that staple thing that Made by Pam recommended a while back. I could really staple my signatures together and then go ahead and stitch, you know, like a double. Thanks, Ree. All right, kids, I'm out. I'll see you later. Don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.